The day began like any other for Sarah, a single mother of two juggling jobs, debts, and an overwhelming sense of exhaustion. She never had the luxury of thinking about herself. Her life revolved around her children, Emily, 6, and Jake, 4. Their smiles were her fuel, even on the darkest days. On this particular morning, she raced to the airport, clutching a printed ticket with a smudged barcode and a bag that had seen better days. Her children were left with her neighbor, a kind older woman who offered to watch them while Sarah traveled to a distant city for a rare job interview, one that could potentially turn their lives around. She wasn't supposed to be on that flight. Through a series of last-minute gate changes, airport confusion, and exhaustion-fueled panic, Sarah had boarded the wrong plane. She didn't realize it until after takeoff, when the pilot announced their destination, miles away from where she was supposed to be. Her heart sank. She felt the tears prick her eyes, but she fought them back. The humiliation, the anxiety, the fear of missing her one shot at a better life, it all pressed on her like a weight she could no longer carry. She didn't notice the man sitting next to her at first. Dressed in a sharply tailored suit, eyes hidden behind designer sunglasses, he looked like someone who belonged in a world Sarah could never imagine herself in. He scrolled absently through emails on his phone, tapping occasionally, utterly absorbed in work. The silence between them was thick until he noticed her softly sobbing, trying to muffle the sound with her scarf. "Excuse me," he said, voice gentle yet hesitant. "Are you okay?" She wiped her eyes quickly, trying to muster a smile. "Yes, I'm fine. Just, wrong flight." He nodded slowly, setting his phone down. "I've had a few of those. The kind of day where nothing goes right." She laughed lightly despite herself, the sound raw. "You could say that." Something about her vulnerability touched him in a way he hadn't expected. His name was Daniel Grayson, founder and CEO of a multi-billion-dollar tech firm. He was known for being distant, aloof, buried in work. People respected him, but no one truly knew him. Daniel hadn't taken a vacation in over 5 years. He lived in penthouses, attended black tie galas, yet returned each night to an empty apartment and a silence that echoed louder than applause ever could. As the flight continued, Daniel did something he rarely did, he talked. And Sarah, perhaps because she had nothing to lose, opened up. She told him about losing her husband in a car accident, about the years spent working minimum wage jobs just to put food on the table, about her dreams deferred again and again because her children always came first. Daniel listened, not with the politeness of someone tolerating a conversation, but with genuine interest. For the first time in years, someone saw her not just as a struggling single mom, but as a person with strength, hope, and depth. By the time they landed, Daniel had made a decision that surprised even him. "Let me help you," he said. She stared at him, confused. "Help me? I own a company. We have offices in the city you were meant to go to. I can make a few calls. We're always looking for people with grit and perseverance. I think you'd fit in." Her pride bristled. "I'm not asking for charity." He smiled. "This isn't charity, it's a chance. One you've more than earned." Reluctantly, she agreed, partly out of desperation, partly out of instinct that told her this man was different. Over the next few days, Sarah found herself in a whirlwind. Daniel arranged for her to stay at a hotel, meet with his team, and even speak to one of the department heads who was impressed by her resilience and problem-solving skills. Within a week, she was offered a job in the company's customer support division, complete with training, benefits, and the flexibility to care for her children. But something else happened during that week. Daniel and Sarah continued to talk, over coffee, in quiet corners of his office, during walks in the city park. She saw past the polished exterior and met the man underneath. A man burdened by loneliness, by the weight of success that had cost him meaningful relationships. For Daniel, Sarah was a reminder of life's deeper purpose, the humanity he'd slowly forgotten in the chase for greatness. He met her children. Emily, bright-eyed and curious, took to him immediately. Jake, shy and cautious, warmed up when Daniel helped him build a paper airplane. Sarah watched them together and felt something shift inside her, a hope she had locked away, now flickering back to life. Months passed. Sarah excelled at her job, rising quickly through the ranks. Her confidence grew. She moved into a modest but warm apartment near the office. Her children began school in a better district. The shadows of her past life slowly gave way to something new and beautiful. And Daniel, he found himself visiting Sarah more and more. Not as a CEO checking in on an employee, but as a man drawn to a woman who reminded him of what it meant to care, to connect, to truly live. On a rainy Friday evening, as they walked under a single umbrella, Daniel turned to her. Do you ever think about how that wrong flight led to the right destination? She smiled, heart full. Every single day. They didn't need grand declarations. There were no fairy tale endings, only a real and raw journey of two people who found each other when they least expected it. A single mother whose strength changed the course of her life, and a lonely CEO who discovered that success means nothing if you have no one to share it with. Sometimes, life doesn't go as planned. Sometimes, the detours become the very roads that lead us to where we were always meant to be. And sometimes, sitting beside a stranger on a flight you were never meant to board, can change everything. Their story became one of whispered legends within the company. The tale of a CEO who found love not in boardrooms or billion-dollar deals, but beside a struggling mother on a misdirected journey. A reminder that fate has a curious way of placing people in our paths, especially when we need them the most. It was never about the flight. It was about the collision of two lives at a moment when both hearts were quietly breaking, and how, together, they began to heal.